Sometimes love can make us ignore the signs right in front of us, but some red flags should never be overlooked. Number 1, constant disrespect. If someone insults you, humiliates you, or makes you feel small, that is not love.
I'm going to give you a quick step on how to create podcast videos. Okay, so I'm going to use my ChatGPT. You have your cloud in your phone, you can have your Gemini, you can use them. So, this is what I want to do. First, I head over to a new chat, then I tell ChatGPT what I want. You can have your podcast avatar in an ultra realistic style, a 3D style, any style you want. You tell ChatGPT what you want, and also maintain the aspect ratio you want. Okay, so in this aspect ratio, I'm going to be using 9:16 aspect ratio. Okay, so this is what I tell ChatGPT. Okay, so I want you to I want you to write me a prompt. A 3D prompt. A 3D animated realism. I need to use animated realism. I'm not using a pizza style. Okay, so I want to use a 3D animated realism. So I want a dark girl in a podcast setting, sitting on a couch. Okay, so I tell ChatGPT my aspect ratio 9:16 aspect ratio. Then I put it. Okay, instead of right, I wrote my autocorrect made a mistake and it put imputed root. So I'm going to copy my prompt. Since I do not have image generation on ChatGPT yet, so I'm going to go head over to my Flow AI. I do not have image generation currently in my ChatGPT. I think I've exhausted them for the day. So I'm going to use 9:16 because formerly I used 16.9. So I want to use 9:16 now. These are the other one. This is my this is my this is my podcast host. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, the photo is saved to my device. So I'm going to head over to ChatGPT again. Okay, so I'm going to tell ChatGPT what I want for my podcast. Okay, so I'm going to tell ChatGPT now. I want you to generate my script on red flags you should never ignore in a relationship. So this is it. I tell ChatGPT just a short script. I don't want it that long. So, and also you can generate your podcast in realistic form, ultra realistic forms. You can also generate it in 3D pizza style. You can generate it in 3D realism. It depends on what you want for your podcast. So it just depends. You can use your image to generate it. So this is my this is my script. So I'm going to take this and copy it. So I'm going okay, so Flow gives you 50 credits per day and it refreshes every day.
I'm going
So you can
to
use the
go
50
to
credits
new,
to create
that's
4
for a new
podcast
project.
video a day. That's if you do not make a mistake. Okay, so this is how I'm going to create the video. Since I have taken my
Then
script
this
from
is where
there,
I'm going to
that's the
upload my
ChatGPT.
image. I
So
go to
I'm going to
images,
paste the script, then add the image I'm using for the podcast.
then I'm
Then
going to
it's
take
going
my
to
3D
start generating.
avatar. This is my 3D
Okay, so I've
avatar.
selected the image now. It's uploading
My 3D avatar
currently.
is currently
So
uploading, but
I just
I will
type
just
in the
put it out
script.
here.
Then you wait for it to load. Okay, so now it's done uploading. Then I'm going to select video. I'm using the 9.16 video. So if I'm using the Omin Flash, I'm using 12 credit. If I'm using the VO31 Lite, I'm using 10 credit. If I'm using VO31 Fast, I'm using 20 credit. So if I subscribe and I have more credits, I'm going to use VO31 Quality. So I don't have that for now, so I'm using the free tool. Then I click. So we are going to wait for it to be done generating so that we can see what it generates for us. And bear it in mind, Flow has watermark, but in my next video I'll show you how to remove watermark so as not to be caught up with watermark. Okay, this is it.
Sometimes love can make us ignore the signs right in front of us, but some red flags should never be overlooked. Sometimes love can make us ignore the signs.
Then I'm going to download it. So I'm going to do the
Right in front of us.
the
But
second.
some red flags should never be overlooked. Sometimes love can make us ignore the signs.
Okay, so I'm going to go back and go to the second one. This is the second one. So I'll go to animate and then tell. So this is how I do my podcast bit by bit. Then I'm going to join them in CapCut. So I'm joining the podcast sections in CapCut. What I'm doing currently now is I am trying to make podcast video about red flags you should never ignore in a relationship. So when you are done with this, head over to CapCut and do your editing. Join them, do your animation, and so on. So that's it for podcasts. It's actually easy making podcast videos if you can be patient enough, because most times when we are doing videos like this, we have several issues. We either with the AI apps, network, or we do not have
Number 1,
enough tools
constant
to. This is the second video that
disrespect. If someone insults you, humiliates
this is the second video. So I'm going to download this second video. So
you or makes you feel
what you
small,
just
that is
do
not love.
is finish up. On Flow AI, you are free to generate 4 videos per day. So You can generate 4 videos on Flow AI per day per one email. So that's it for today.